When people talk about the platforms to build brands on, no one ever mentions LinkedIn. But should we though? Today's guest feels like if you're building a B2B business, then LinkedIn is where you need to be at. So check out today's episode and enjoy. What's going on, people? This is Shad Harris, and today is another edition of Eat What You Kill. And this series is all about just helping creatives and entrepreneurs climb the corporate ladder, grow their businesses, and just become more visible using social media. So today we have a digital marketing manager, Miss Carla Gregory. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. So I actually met Carla probably about 2 weeks ago. We were both on the same panel for ConnectCon. And so we talked a lot about marketing that day. About growing your brand and things like that. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity for more people to kind of hear what all that it is that you offer and what you can share, what value you can provide.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So for the people that don't know you, who are you and what do you do in your own words?
All right, so my name is Carla Gregory. I'm a digital marketing manager for Sumitomo Drive Technologies. Mm-hmm. We're an industrial gearbox manufacturer. Mm-hmm. And I handle everything from website development, SEO, social media marketing, LinkedIn, executive LinkedIn training.
Okay.
Everything digital marketing, that's me.
Okay. So we kind of started off, we had a conversation off camera, and pretty much you said your niche is LinkedIn.
Yes.
How did you get involved in LinkedIn? Before we get into the meat of the conversation, let's kind of, provide a little context.
So I started really doing digital marketing with Facebook and Instagram. But once I moved from B2C to B2B, mm-hmm. that's where LinkedIn is. So, Of course, Sumitomo, we sell gearboxes to distributors and different companies. It's not like selling a shirt to just one person or a specific demographic. So once I started getting LinkedIn, I started researching more, and I started using it to get jobs and also using it at work to generate leads.
Okay. So I'm going to just, throw my little disclaimer out there now, is that I don't know too much about LinkedIn. Usually when I have these conversations, I have a gist or a grasp of what's being talked about. But LinkedIn, I have a profile, but I don't really do anything with it. Ooh. So these questions that I'm going to give you are pretty much out of ignorance.
Okay.
All right, so let's kind of get into it. So I guess provide a little bit more context. What has been some of the biggest wins, the connections, et cetera, that you might have got from, using LinkedIn?
One of my best stories is I got my current job through LinkedIn. A colleague that I used to go to school with, I saw her profile and I asked some questions about her digital marketing certification. Mm-hmm. And she just happened to tell me that she was moving to a different position underneath Japan, mm-hmm. and that her position was open. So she looked at my profile, she sent it off to her boss, and I was interviewed, I met everybody. But when it came down to it, they went to my LinkedIn profile and they read a blog that I wrote about the Avengers and their tax return. I had wrote that at Liberty Tax. And mm-hmm. because I guess the marketing department were full of extroverts, introverts, but creative, we're nerds. Mm-hmm. They loved that and they realized that I would be a better fit because just from that blog.
Okay. So when we was at the event, you actually talked about this blog. Can you just give a general gist of this?
Okay, a general gist. It's about the Avengers and their tax return. So if you remember, was it Age of Ultron? There's one movie where Hawkeye has kids. So that's a tax deduction.
Okay.
If you think about Tony Stark in his lab, there's a home office deduction. So he could have possibly got that in a perfect world if he was filing his taxes on screen.
Okay. And so what made you decide to come up with this blog? I mean, that's very creative, but also like very niche.
Taxes are boring. And at that time, what movie was this? At that time, I can't remember which Marvel movie came out during that year, but that was a really big keyword. It was great on social. You hashtag Marvel, do a little mix with that, and we got a lot of views from it. So mm-hmm. I thought about that, put it together, and we made some magic. It was a great blog.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about LinkedIn for a second.
Okay.
And like I said, once again, I don't know anything about this, so I'm really asking for myself now. So, all right, so when you're starting out on LinkedIn, what are some things that you are vital for a successful profile?
Profile photo, a header photo, a description of what you do, and at least your last 2 or 3 jobs.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I haven't worked a job in 7 years. Mm-hmm. So what would I put? Would I put my business or would I put the actual jobs that I've had?
So I would put the jobs that you had, but since you're also an entrepreneur And so am I sometimes. I have my business name, but underneath it, I have every single client and how long I've been with them. So you'll see, my job, I'll have Liberty Tax when I freelance for a franchisee. You'll see the Art Group, which is a group home in Portsmouth. Like you'll see different ones and the years and what I've done.
Okay. All right, so those are the basics. Is there anything else that you probably would need to make sure that your page stands out? Like I know you said blogs. Would you recommend that for everybody, or?
I wouldn't recommend, if you're not a content writer and you don't do SEO or content writing, maybe not, but you can always showcase what you've done. So you can share newsletters, you can share videos, you can highlight articles you've appeared in. There's a lot of places to showcase what you do, and also to use your header photo as another way to showcase what you do. So since I work in the gearbox industry, and my favorite color is pink, mine is just pink gearboxes, and then there's me matching it. So it's really cohesive.
Okay.
And it tells a story of who I am and where I work and what I do.
Okay, so even in your pictures, you need to kind of tell who you are. Instead of just having a basic headshot, you need something that kind of stands out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the headshot's great, but I mean, the header photo and what you do should also match. And what I mean by that is you can have a description underneath it. So instead of being boring and just say like digital marketing manager, I have something like 2021 top 40 under 40, charismatic, forward-thinking digital marketer, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Because believe it or not, LinkedIn is kind of like, it's not SEO based, but people can search you based on what's on your profile.
Oh, really? Okay. I feel like we need to get into a little bit of SEO, but we're going to save that towards the end because I have questions about that as well. All right, so we talked about header photos, jobs, any type of videos, or any type of content that kind of represents who you are. Is there anything else that you need to make sure when I actually do mine this week? What else should I make sure that I put up there?
Make sure to have it match your resume. So have actual goals and things that you've done at your job on your profile. So if you slashed bounce rates by 10%, put that up there. And also put any certifications that you have.
Okay.
So if you have any, like I have some digital marketing certifications, like HubSpot, Hootsuite, add those. And a pro tip is to actually reach out to your friends and have them write recommendations for you, or at least endorse you on your skills.
Oh, okay. And why does that matter, I guess?
Because social proof. When you see a place that has a 1-star review, are you going to go? But when you see somebody with, 34 endorsements on social media and 10 recommendations, you're going to want to reach out to them.
It stands out. Okay. All right. So, and would this be the same for people who are entrepreneurs who maybe are going after the B2B business? Yeah.
So entrepreneurs should definitely use the highlight feature more. So you can actually highlight things you've done for each job. So if, you did a great video, you wrote a commercial, you won an award, that's something to definitely put underneath each separate company that you helped.
I'm really trying to figure this out because, like I said, most of my clientele is B2B, but I usually use, Facebook or Instagram, 9 times 10 Instagram, to really be able to target those industries. But I feel like I could be leaving a lane wide open by not going after, people on LinkedIn. I'm gonna definitely look into that.
And something else is if you also have the budget for it, because you can write off a lot of stuff if you're an entrepreneur, invest in either LinkedIn Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Premium. That way you can see who viewed your profiles, you can get some in-mail, so you can reach out to people who you might not even have a second or third tier connection to, but now you can.
Okay. How would you suggest somebody standing out using LinkedIn?
I think you should post at least 2 or 3 times a week and comment on a couple of posts and at least share something. So if you're in any groups or you follow people who are in the same tier as you, the same industry as you, try to interact with their content and also try to write your own. Okay.
I feel like that's pretty much the same across the board when it comes to social media.
It is, but it's a different type. A good example, we talked about this at ConnectCon, but I'm in a sorority, and I celebrated my 12th Sigmaversary on Monday.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks. On Facebook, it was, I love my line sisters, love them to death. But on LinkedIn, I flipped it, and I highlighted each line sister for what they've done. So, I highlighted Christina, I highlighted Trinisha, because we do great things, but the way it was written was different, but the picture was the same.
Okay.
So in that one, I talked about Black Greek letter organizations and how they're not temporary, how we've grown, how we help each other, versus the other one, which was we cute. Look at us, 12 years. We get.
So your content has to, be different to reflect the different platforms. Pretty
Yes.
Much. Okay.
Like,
okay.
and some people's. I've seen people where they overuse hashtags like it's Instagram. Like I wouldn't put a hashtag paragraph in LinkedIn, but I would strategically place maybe one or two in the copy.
So, all right. So you don't necessarily need hashtags for LinkedIn.
You do, but you don't need to
flood it.
You don't need to
30.
Flood it. Yeah,
31,
please don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what is something that you feel like people overlook when it comes to LinkedIn, or why do you feel like people should be using LinkedIn to kind of grow their, personal brands?
To me, that is not where the money is, but that's where people are that you might be looking for. So people are grouped by their company. So of course, if you're looking for someone in this industry or in this company, it's easier to find them than, hoping they tag each coworker on Instagram or hoping someone checks their DMs.
Okay. I'm looking to do some work with, one of the cities around here. So it'd probably be easier for me to go on LinkedIn and say, hey, let me find the marketing manager or somebody who's in charge of social media with this particular city.
Yes, especially because you can see who they're connected to. So sometimes you might not even know that you have a mutual connection. So now if you know this person in real life, it's like, hey, Christina, this person, can you introduce me? Right. We're mutual. So that's helpful.
Okay. Which content do you feel like does better on LinkedIn? Would it be videos? Would it be like written articles or?
I've seen a lot of videos, but some of the best content I've seen is actually long form posts with a photo. So like a read more and it's about 600 characters or so. And especially ones that have, not call to action, but like different steps. So 10 ways to make your SEO pop on your website, something like that.
Yeah.
Another strategic way, if you're interested in traffic, is to put 5 of those and put the other 5 on your website. Or you can also write your own newsletters on LinkedIn now, or write other articles and forward to that.
Okay. For those articles, should you link out to your website or try to keep it all native?
It depends on your goal. So if you have like a call to action or a form or something on your website, maybe push it there. But it's a toss-up. If it's something that you wrote for someone else, I would kind of suggest that you at least keep a copy of it somewhere.
Yeah.
So like the blog I wrote about the Avengers, Liberty Taxes like redone their blog, and I had to find the rest of my blog on Wayback Machine. So I was really upset that my blog was gone. So make sure you at least keep a copy of it somewhere in case that website gets shut down, they close, and you have that proof or that really nice piece of content.
All right, so before we wrap this up, we have our last question.
Okay.
It's called Skip the Line. So the concept of skip the line is, like when you was in like high school or something like that, you could have been in the back of the line, but your friend was probably a couple people up and they said, hey, come up here and skip the line. So what are some things that would help other people skip the line? Tangible, like tips, hacks, mentalities, methodologies, all those type of things.
Keep track of what you do. So, like I said, your resume should match your LinkedIn. But of course, over the years, you want to keep your resume one page. Keep the LinkedIn as long as you want. So put some of those things that you might take off your resume over time and make sure they're there.
Okay.
Get a professional headshot. So if you know someone who does those, make sure you get a good one so it's not like a selfie or it's no picture at all.
Okay.
And a third one, make connections. So you're everywhere. You meet people, you leave people, you meet companies, you leave. Make sure that before you leave or before you at least put your 2 weeks in, reach out to people to have them leave recommendations about how much you've helped them and start building that up on your LinkedIn page.
Okay. So
like when I started LinkedIn, I was in college, a senior at ODU, and I have stuff from like professors that I was taught under, but do I talk to them now? Maybe not as much, but now I have like 20 or so recommendations just under my profile from at least 10 years ago.
Okay. All right, cool. That's very insightful. I definitely need to hear that. Yeah, because my LinkedIn page is atrocious, so we're not going to go into that.
Fix it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do that.